I have a long to-do list, but also need some self-care. What are your thoughts on how to prioritize myself while staying out of the anxiety of what needs to get done? Okay, I'm going to answer it from two different perspectives. One perspective is like right now, right? So right now, the best thing you can do, and I have a feeling you already know this, is breathe. Breathe deeply. In fact, very specifically, what I would recommend is that you do this breathing technique where you're sitting with yourself really grounded, like really focus on your sit bones, wherever you are, in a chair, on the floor, ground yourself, and then do this breathing where you're going from one nostril, where you're breathing in, and then you're flipping here and breathing out. Don't release. After you've exhaled, breathe in. Switch out. Why? Because it can help our whole system calm down and get really grounded and really present exactly where we are. Then I would just ask, yourself, myself, what is my number one priority right now? And write it down, whether it's in your journal, a piece of paper, whatever works for you, preferably in a notebook that you use for work purposes or for your to-do list kind of stuff, and write down what that number one thing is. Then focus on that number one thing. I mean, you can continue to write down the other ones, but only focus on the one thing, because it feels like you're a multitasker. I am too, and I get a lot of energy by having a lot of different projects all going on at the same time. But what I find is that I have to really have intention behind the one priority. How am I going to feel at the end of today when I get that one priority done? And then I go, I want that feeling, and I want that feeling now. I'm going to feel that feeling instead of the anxiety, right? So if it's a feeling of accomplishment, like, oh gosh, I know what a great feeling that is at the end of the day when I feel like, yeah, I really, really got stuff done. I didn't let everything else in the world spin me. I also go to a separate desk to do certain tasks. So find spaces in your house, because you may get 3 things done today, right? So I'm not saying that you would only get the one thing done, but definitely prioritize and then focus on that one thing. And then when you get to number 2, I'd recommend you find another space for it, right? So I go to a very particular desk to write and to do creative things and to download and to journal and remote write. So it's a different space, because then I'm not tempted by all the, the electronic clutter of my desk, all the tabs that I have open and all the books that I have and all the papers that are here that all need my attention. I don't sit here for that. So find the place, and maybe this is an ongoing thing, so you don't have to think about it so much, that you just have different spaces for different things that you want to accomplish, and then just stay really focused on that one thing. Now, that was the first part that I was going to say about the question. The second part is prioritizing your week, right? Because I know that stuff comes up, and right now one of my focuses is on play, and I think it should be for most of us that are very type A and like have a lot of things that we want to get done. But I would really structure your day a little bit more. You're still going with the flow, but you structure your day in a way that, again, what your intention is what you want to get done as a priority, but also how you want to feel at the end of the day. How do you want to feel at the end of the week? What are the top 3 things that you need to get done? Now, I know with corporate lives and all this, there's like everybody else has different agendas, but I guarantee that if you stick to those 3 things for you personally, you'll feel better at the end of the week, even when the curveballs come and they kind of, take you from underneath your feet, because you're always going to know which thing to go back to, not the thing that's squeaking the loudest. And that's always the challenge, isn't it? The things that we think are going to cause us the most pain, grab our attention. Oh, I'll do that. Oh, I'll go do that, right? We know the whole concept is sort of squirrel. And so if you're really focused on what this week is going to have and hold for you and how you're going to feel at the end of it, and then just bring that feeling into the beginning, you're going to see that anxiety subsides, because there's nothing to be anxious about, because you're in the moment right now doing exactly what you feel is your priority to do. And you've already told yourself, no, I'm already feeling accomplished. And as you do the work, you go, another step closer to putting that priority off the list and going to the next one. So hopefully that's helpful. I'd love to hear in the comments if you have anything that comes up for you, or if it wasn't your question and you have a thought, maybe you have an extra tip. I'm always happy for all of us to share. So please put it in the comments below. All right, let's go on to question number 2.